Trains are the stuff of dreams for so many kids, and how would they not be? They can be big and small, they're super loud, they get to help with all kinds of cool jobs, and a lot of times they leave massive paths of smoke and steam in their wake. They're basically the toddlers of the industrial world. Today, we are going to do some fun process art, and trains are going to be our muse. We are going to use bubbles to paint the steam coming out of our steam engine.
Here's what you're going to need to paint your smoke. This free printable train outline, I'll put a link to it in the description. It's part of a resource that also includes this fun engineer's hat. Obviously, you should wear the hat while doing the craft. We need to look the part, right? You could also find your own train or draw a train if you're so inclined. Whatever you do, you're going to want to put it on a thick cardstock or a watercolor paper because those bubbles are going to make it a little bit wet. You don't want something that'll buckle. Warmish hot water. Lean a little more towards hot so everything kind of dissolves well. Dish soap. Now, the original recipe I followed called for clear dish soap. I'm going to link that blog post in the description. But if I'm being honest, I didn't have any. And I suspected most people don't, and I didn't want you to have to go to the store just to get clear dish soap. So I forged ahead to test out the colored soap. It was absolutely fine. Use whatever soap you have. Corn syrup. Corn syrup just makes the bubbles a little more sturdy. Food coloring. I tried this both with paint and with food coloring. Believe it or not, the food coloring comes out a little more vibrant. I think the paint is just too heavy to get into the bubbles very well. Anyway, use food coloring. I use black. You can use whatever colors you want. A straw. I read an idea that I thought was fabulous when I was researching this. Use a thumbtack to push a tiny hole near the mouth of the straw. When you put in that tiny hole, it prevents kids from getting suction and sucking any of that soapy water back into their mouths. So smart. Large mixing bowl. Use it to make the bubble solution. Containers for your bubble paint water. In my experience, you get a lot more control if you use something with a narrow top, like a cup or a small container, and kids are less likely to accidentally dump their paper in the water than they would be if they use something larger like a pie plate. Polar Express. All our crafts are based on a picture book, and this one is based on the Polar Express, everyone's favorite Christmas train book. I mean, who did not dream of hearing that train pulling up outside their window on Christmas Eve? Read the book and do the craft, and you have just Pinterested the heck out of an afternoon. All right, step number 1, you're going to make your bubble paint solution. Pour 2 cups of dish soap into a bowl. You're going to transfer this mixture into smaller containers, so if you have a bowl with a pour spout, that would be a good one to use. Add 6 cups of warm, almost hot water and a cup of corn syrup. Mix it all up. Now pour about a cup and a half into your smaller containers. Add about a teaspoon of food coloring to your water and mix it up really well. Next, if your kids haven't been involved up to this point, now's the time to grab them. Give everyone a cup of the paint solution, a train print, and a straw. And we blow bubbles. Make sure the bubbles are up and over the top of the cup before you stop blowing. Warning, this part gets a little messy, so don't do it on something that you're going to be sad if it gets permanently altered. Step 3, grab the papers, lay it flat on those bubbles. See how the cup gives you more control as far as where do you put the bubbles? No big deal if it doesn't make it to the smokestack. Let kids put the bubbles wherever they want. But if they do want the smoke to come out of the stack, it's much easier to control that with a smaller surface. Let the bubbles lay where they lie. Don't brush them off or anything. Trust me, they're going to pop and disappear and leave a really cool effect.
Let it dry, and ta-da! You have a bubble painted steam train. Make sure to grab the free printable and do make the engineer hats while you're painting. That'll be so fun. If you are looking for more storybook crafts and science experiments, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of them. Happy painting!